Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about weekly volume and how it's not necessarily going to give you an accurate idea of how many sets to do for a body part. So I just had somebody ask me about how much is my weekly volume. So somehow this person thought if they figure out how much weekly volume I'm doing for a given body part, that somehow they could do the same weekly volume and get the exact same result, ignoring a whole bunch of other parameters, right? So the thing is that if you do 15 sets in one workout, as opposed to 5 sets in each individual workout, and say you work out 3 times a week and you do 5 sets each workout, even though both have 15 sets in there, it's totally different. Now, I know I've talked about this before, but this seems to keep on coming up where people think that volume is volume. So if you do 15 sets throughout the week, no matter how you structure it, it's going to give you the exact same result, but it's not. The quality of your sets is going to be totally different depending on how many sets you're doing in a given workout, how much fatigue plays a factor, and also how many rest days are in between workouts. So when you train a body part and you're slightly sore, that also causes a different type of adaptation, or maybe can cause a very synergistic cumulative effect, which is much different than doing a crazy workout and then taking 6 or 7 days off, right? So don't try to oversimplify your workouts and say, oh, volume for the whole week and 15 sets is 15 sets. It doesn't matter how I come about that, because that is just not going to give you an accurate idea of what's going to go on in the body. And of course, there's also the variable of intensity, whether you're doing heavy sets, lighter sets. This is also going to change which muscles are hit the hardest, and maybe also the wear and tear in the joints is also going to be affected depending on what type of weight you're using and so forth. So this is also going to play a role. So a set isn't a set. It's like, what type of set? How is the set structured? Is it done within one workout, or is it done within 3 or 4 workouts with a certain amount of rest time in between? This is going to totally change the entire mix, right? So if you talk to old school bodybuilders, you'll see that they train the body parts a certain way. They didn't just boil it down to just weekly volume or monthly volume. I did this many sets this month, so I'm done, right? They, most of the time, structured the amount of sets that they were going to do around a workout. You know, how many sets or what type of fatigue do I want to hit in that given workout? And that is the dictating factor in what they're going to do or how they're going to structure their workouts. But they didn't think about weekly volume as much. They're more like, how many times do I have to train that body part and how many sets in a workout in order to get the body to adapt? Because really what you want to do in a workout is just do enough work to get the body to adapt. That's the whole point. Doing more work than it takes to get the body to adapt is counterproductive and sometimes can just wear you out or overtrain you. And doing too little work will cause you not to adapt. And that's the whole point of training, is to adapt the muscles, to get them to get stronger and bigger. So finding that set point, that switch point, that the flicking of the switch, right? How many sets does it take and what type of set does it take in order to flick that switch in a given workout? And then you want to be able to do that as often as possible. So whatever it takes to flick that switch, and then you want to rest as much as needed before you do the workout again. So say you're just a tiny bit sore, a tiny bit tight, and then you train that muscle again, and therefore you're going to get the most synergistic and ideal adaptation response, and you're going to get the most amount of muscle mass from that. So yeah, don't boil it down to just weekly volume. Really think about what does it take in a given workout in order to get your body to adapt or feel like it needs to adapt. And then from there, you structure your successive workouts to the week and discover how many days does it take for you to recover before you can train that body part again. And then yeah, you might be getting a certain amount of volume per week from that, but the volume per week is not the dictating factor. That's not the foundation on which you structure your program. So I hope this helps you out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.